the Journal for a story connecting Trump to Jeffrey Epstein.
Dick Brennan reporting. A Dow Jones spokesperson saying in a statement, "We have full confidence in the rigor and accuracy of our reporting and will vigorously defend against any lawsuit." Investigators may have found the cause of that deadly fire at an assisted living facility in Fall River, Massachusetts this week.
Sources say the fire may have been started by someone smoking near an oxygen tank.
We need you out. There's a huge fire.
The Fall River Police Department has released body cam videos of its officers rushing into the burning building to save residents. They kicked in doors looking for victims and carried some out, all while not wearing any masks. Fire Chief Jeffrey Bacon.
That was absolutely amazing what I watched them do. That's not their job. That's not their comfort zone.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump signing a cryptocurrency bill into law.
Thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
The so-called Genius Act sets regulations for a type of cryptocurrency known as stablecoins.
You've made our dollar look really good and strong and powerful. It's good for the dollar and it's good for the country.
That's Linda Kenyon reporting. CBS announcing it's canceling The Late Show with Stephen Colbert as of next May in retiring the franchise. The network calling it a financial decision. Matt Belloni is with digital media company Puck.
The economics simply does not make sense anymore because people are not watching linear television late at night. They are watching the clips from these shows on digital platforms, but the monetization of that content is not the same.
Cubs beat the Red Sox 4-1 at Wrigley Field. Red Sox and Cubs tonight, 7:15. The pregame right here on WTIC 1080 beginning at 6:15. Let's check the forecast.
Today brings sunshine and a few clouds around the greater Hartford area with a nice start to the weekend and a high of 88. However, clouds will build through the night tonight, as will the humidity levels on the way to a low of 70. And that leads to tomorrow, which brings far more cloudiness, even a thunderstorm around with a humid day as a high reaches 88 once again. Any thunderstorm may be rather gusty, perhaps even severe, with damaging winds and flooding downpours. For tomorrow night, the sky will clear out on the way to a low of 65, and that leads to a rather nice stretch for the first half, at least, of next week. Monday brings plenty of sunshine, lower humidity, and a breeze with a high of 81. For Tuesday, expect some clouds, but generally sunny conditions. It's another nice day overall with continued low humidity and a high reaching 80. Then for Wednesday, expect a touch more humidity around, but still rather tolerable. Look for plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high rising to 86. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
67 degrees, mostly sunny in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Computer Talk with Tab is up next.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jenna Heiler, licensed in Connecticut. CordellCordell.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Brian Shackman here for QC Kinetics. Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Maybe you're stuck in a cycle of steroid shots. Now they're talking about surgery. Before you go down that road, hit the pause button for a second and listen. Because if you want relief without more meds, without going under the knife, call QC Kinetics. They are the nation's leaders in regenerative medicine, using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No Band-Aids, no masking the pain. This goes to the root of the problem. These cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your body's ability to heal itself. The first consultation is totally free, so you can make an informed decision on your own with no pressure. It doesn't cost anything to learn more for something that could be life-changing for you. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation at 860-440-PAIN. Again, that's 860-440-PAIN. They have locations in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury, so you know it's probably pretty close to you. QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN.
Pete Sweeney, Director of Operations at United Tool and Die Company in West Hartford, is glad Tab Computer Systems Patrol Dog is on duty.
We get complete monitoring from Tab through Patrol Dog, monitors our servers and provides Tab with an alert, and in turn they advise us when there's an issue.
Tab's Patrol Dog is also on guard against suspicious emails.
We also have the email monitoring where Patrol Dog quarantines any suspicious emails and notifies the users ahead of time.
Patrol Dog is just one of the reasons Pete switched to Tab, the ASP, actual service provider of MSPs. As one of the world's top-ranked MSPs according to Channel Futures, Tab actually provides superior IT services month to month with no long-term contracts. By switching to Tab, Pete Sweeney is saving his company thousands.
I would 100% recommend Tab.
Call Tab at 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Right, there you go. She pushed the right button. You there, Dennis?
Yes. Now I can hear you.
And you got to assume...
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock and taking your computer calls, comments, questions, and concerns. Get a really big shoe. We have someone who's been writing some interesting articles that have been picked up all over the place, and I picked them up too. His name is Robert Caruso. And he has done some experimenting with AI and a gaming system that's near and dear to my heart because it came out in the 80s when I was a kid, the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly.
So do I.
And so Robert has been doing some experiments with Atari chess, taking on AI to see just how well AI can manage a chess game and beat something that is 250,000 times less powerful than the AI. So we'll be talking with Robert at 10 o'clock today just to see how his experiments have been going and talk about how he got the idea. He's out there doing this thing and it's been picked up all over the place. And I just found it so interesting, and he was nice enough to say yes to come onto our program. Also, we're going to be talking to Andrea Obstin of Andrea Obstin Marketing Communications. She, I thought of her instantly when you saw the kiss cam thing that's going on all over the internet, and it's become a massive meme. And what happened to those folks is just it's been done in so many sitcoms before this actually occurred. You can't even make it up.
Yeah.
You would hope they would have realized how to react better. But they did a poor job of that and have made themselves a spectacle. But the key is here, we'll talk to Andrea about crisis management. So she'll be coming on as well on the show. So stick around for that. So lots going on. But, of course, we'll take your calls and we'll talk about technology news you can use. And, Dennis, where do you want to start? What technology is out there that might help us in our daily lives?
This really is something that might help people.
I can't wait.
Google, just a few days ago, Google published a scientific article on something that they've been doing with Android phones for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know about it. I'm sure pretty much everybody that we're talking to right now had never heard about it.
Right, so it must be super important.
It is earthquake detection and alerting.
Okay. So
how it works is this is a feature that's built into the Android operating system. It's not an app that you have to get. It's built right in.
It just knows.
And it monitors the accelerometer in the phone. And when it detects vibrations it collects it from all of the Android phones in an area.
Yeah.
And when it picks up a pattern that suggests the possibility of an earthquake, it will then turn around and alert phones in that region, hopefully in time to warn people that an earthquake is coming.
Gotcha.
Now,
or
if you happen to be sitting right on the epicenter of the quake, it's not going to do anything for you. But
because your accelerometer is just
because there's no way to get an alert out to you in advance of the earthquake. It's already hitting your phone.
Right. It's like saying you're having an earthquake, buddy. Yeah.
But so it won't alert people in that location.
Right, because they're all saying,
but it collects up it collects up data from other phones there.
Yeah.
And it will try to predict where that earthquake wave is going to be traveling to, because an earthquake wave is literally like an ocean wave.
Crazy.
And it takes time to ripple outward.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will alert phones that are in, an outer area and tell you that there may be an earthquake, get to safety. Or it may just give you a warning that there might be an earthquake coming your way.
Mm.
And you're still not going to get a whole lot of time. You're talking, 15 seconds of awareness of the earthquake coming.
Yeah.
But something is better than nothing. So
I guess.
it's built in. And I just think it's fascinating that they were doing this. And it was just never publicized until now. I guess they published the paper because they've had enough experience with it over 5 years to have refined the algorithms and make better predictions. And that's kind of what the paper was about, telling not only what did we set up, but what did we do with it once we had it, and how do we make it better? And it's all in there.
The bigger question is, what will the humans do when they get the alert?
Right.
My wife sees a tornado warning on the TV, and it's like, okay, we're going to the basement. I'm like, honey, it's like it's a couple counties away. And then you get people who say there's a flood warning coming, and nobody does anything.
Right.
So it's like, when are we going to get alerting systems that actually get us as humans to actually take action, when it really should be the case? And those systems are still pretty poor. I mean, again, the Texas floods, they were alerted the day before, 3 or 4 times over the evenings, and they waited to the last minute. And again, are these alerts any good? I don't know. Would you take action if you heard that an earthquake was coming, or would you'd be? Of course, here in Connecticut, we'd be like, ho hum.
Well,
I mean, occasionally they do come.
Well, we do get them, in Connecticut, but people who live in California would probably have a better idea of what they should do.
Yeah, it's been a while since the last San Francisco one was in the 80s, right? With all
89.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember it too.
So, thankfully, it hasn't happened really since that I can think of. But all right, very cool, Google. Keep us alert. In other news, Bitcoin Depot had a breach that exposed 27,000 crypto users. Why is this important? 27,000. I know. Basically, it's a prominent cryptocurrency ATM operator. Again, if you find yourself standing in front of a cryptocurrency ATM, ask yourself, as they did in Star Wars, you may want to rethink your life. But I digress. So yes, this Bitcoin Depot, if it's called Bitcoin Depot, you should wonder about that too. But 27,000 users. Now, here's the thing, right? So pig butchering is where the folks go after your Bitcoin wallets.
Right.
And now with 27,000 users' information out there, they know who to go after.
Yes.
Oh, you're the dingalings who like to play in crypto.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and sell you some more fake crypto and steal all your crypto.
Right. Well, maybe simjack your phone in order to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they can, with a breach like that, they can do a whole lot of damage very quickly.
Right. So, I mean, the thing about the old saying, a fool's in his money or certain parted, if they know who the fools are directly, they're going to go after you. So it saves them a whole lot of time, and you'll thank Bitcoin Depot for those folks who have that out there. So if you happen to have used a Bitcoin Depot ATM, 27,000 of you have, you're on a list. And there are whole crime syndicates that are actually sitting there designed. The Chinese do this a lot. Go after you specifically. They'll do all sorts of confidence schemes. They'll try to trick you into lots of dating confidence schemes. They try to have some sort of relationship with you, and then they show you how they're going to make more money in the crypto. And since you're already open to the idea of crypto, they're like going to have an easier job with you. And then eventually they steal all your fake money. So I'll put this link up there for you to take a look at, and maybe you can find out if you've been on the list. And don't, it used to be don't take any wooden nickels. Don't take any phone calls from the potential pig butchers that are out there. There's billions of dollars of actual money being stolen from people with these schemes, so be very careful. What else you got there, Dennis?
I've got word about a vulnerability on North American trains.
Okay.
Trains have this telemetry system, a radio-based telemetry system, from the head of the train and the tail of the train. They talk to each other while the train is running.
All right. Make sure they're both there.
Right. Well, and they stream data about their conditions and things like that.
All right.
It turns out that for 20 years, multiple years,
yes, many
there
decades,
has been a vulnerability that can be used to hack into that telemetry stream, and it can send commands to the train, which the train will then obey. And it can that can even include activating the emergency brake.
Oh my!
And other things.
Is this on current trains that are out there? Like,
yes.
I didn't even know those emergency brakes even exist. I haven't been on a train in probably at least 10 years.
Yeah, they have emergency train.
So you could just stand up as a person, just pull that brake and stop the whole train?
Well, you can't.
Oh, but a guy with the radio could.
The operator of the train
yeah.
can stop the train.
Gotcha. So that kind of emergency brake.
Right. And gotcha. I'm not talking about something that just
the old school
passenger active.
No.
That's not what we're. All right. At any rate, it's a vulnerability that's been known for 20 years, and the train industry has done nothing.
Right,
about it.
No imagination. They never expect anybody to use it.
Their position is that it takes specialized equipment to take advantage of it, and it requires unique conditions in order to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the point is that they just don't think that it's viable for somebody to take control of a train this way. I mean, it could be done, but would anybody do it, I guess, is what they're saying. No, it's not going to happen. However, they are in the process of eventually changing all of this equipment out to use more secure communication for this telemetry stream.
All right, well, that's a good
But it's still going to take time to replace it all, and it's going to cost a lot of money across the whole industry.
Well, they should be encrypting these communications.
They should have been doing it 20 years ago. Right. Yes.
Unbelievable. I mean, how long have we been taking our shoes off at the airport now? That's been almost 20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and now that's gone because they're like, okay, one ding dong came up with an idea, and it's not going to be the case anymore. So it's just nutty that if you already know these types of things exist, you're not going to prevent them. But it is what it is. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock. And like I said, we'll be talking with Andrea Obston about crisis planning, kind of talking about what happened at the old Coldplay concert recently, which is just massively hitting the internet to just an insane degree. You see whole organizations and companies actually taking what happened and creating their own memes off of it. And it's like, careful what you do there. You're playing with fire. Your funny is your next crisis. We'll talk with her, and then we'll talk with Robert Caruso about how he took on AI with the Atari 2600.
Wow.
Battle of the century. We'll be right back.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stop chewing on that T-bone so hard. You're going to break your teeth.
Hey, don't worry, hon. I have zirconia all-on-4 from Columbia Implant Center. They're stronger than even my real teeth.
Well, I didn't know I was dating the bionic man, Steve Austin.
Come down to Columbia Implant Center and get an all-on-4, 1 day, same day, 7 days a week. Call us at 860-743-1898 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Helping your inner circle prepare for emergencies can start in many ways. Put together an emergency kit with WIPE-WALL. Create a family communication plan with your tita. Remind Bai to keep a backup battery charged. It all starts with a simple step, telling those you care about to be ready for the worst. So start a conversation and plan for emergencies together. Get more tips at ready.gov/start. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jerry Puya from Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe. It is time to sip into summer at Between Rounds. Like frozen smoothies, we've got strawberry, peach, and mango for you to try. Like iced teas, choose from blackberry sangria, black pearl, red berry and floating lemon, as well as strawberry. All start with freshly brewed Lipton tea. Like coffee-based drinks, we offer fresh brewed iced coffees, several frozen coffee drinks, and of course, cold brew coffees. Our current featured cold brew is bourbon vanilla. Finally, if you prefer, we offer iced chai. So, you see, come to Between Rounds hot and leave Between Rounds cool. Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe in Vernon, Manchester, South Windsor, East Windsor, and Tolland. We'd love to see you. Visit BetweenRoundsBagels.com for franchise information and to order online.
A savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit GetCarter.com.
That's GetCarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
And we are back. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock. Yes, a little Coldplay for you. And let's see what we can do to help you guys out. We're going to go right to your calls. We're going to go to Tom in Granby first. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Good morning. I'm building a new computer, a PC, and I'd like to know which version of Windows 11 can I use, the OEM version or the retail version?
I believe you could use either one, but if it were up to me, I would get my hands on the OEM version because you can, once you have that image to start with, you can modify it to deploy the operating system just the way you want. And there's a lot of other administrative tools that become available in that form. If you start with the retail version, it's kind of a black box, sort
limited,
and it just operates in its own way.
Are they all bootable? Are they both bootable from the CD?
Oh yeah. If you get well, with either one of them, you would get the ability to download an ISO file, and you would be able to write that to either an optical disc or a USB, and you could boot from it.
Okay, that was my next question. Do I need to make a bootable USB drive?
It would help you get it installed, yes. And we can. I can recommend a tool to do that. It's called Rufus. RUFUS, and it's a very nice little tool. There's also another one called Balena Etcher. Either one of them will give you that bootable disk once you start with that ISO file.
Do I need that first in the computer then?
Yeah, you would have to install one of those, and then you get your ISO file from Microsoft, and then use one or the other tool to write it to either a USB stick or a optical drive.
All right. The other question about my hard drive, it's a new hard drive, 2 terabytes.
Nice.
It's not formatted to Seagate. Is there a facility on Windows to format it?
The Windows installer routine can reformat and repartition that drive for you. That's built into the functionality of installing it.
Okay, very well.
You'll go through a little dialogue about that.
Yeah, it's been a while since I built one. The last time I built one, it was Windows XP.
Oh boy, yeah, that is a long time.
It's not going to be dissimilar.
No,
no, it really isn't. I mean, the look of it will be different, but the way that it steps you through the different steps, it's mostly all going to be there. So,
But I do need a bootable USB drive then.
Yes, that's how I would do it.
Okay, very well.
I mean, you can do it from a DVD too, but it's not going to be as fast.
Yeah, okay, very well. All right, thank you very much.
All right, Dom, good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Of all the hobbies, building a PC, that was the good old days back when we started our show. Is what people were doing all the time. Building a computer, you go down to the Compu Hut and you buy your components, right? Get your case and your motherboard and your processor and your RAM. You sit there on your shag carpet, hope it doesn't zap your computer. Formatting your drive, trying to figure out the geometry of your old hard drive.
Oh, right. You had to type in the numbers into a BIOS before it would even read the drive.
You need to know what's this. What am I looking at here, buddy? Well, here's your drive. And then you stick the first disk in and hope it would go. Ah, the good old days. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock. So coming up after the news, we'll have a quick interview with Andrea Obston of Andrea Obston Marketing Communications. She'll talk about crisis management and what's happened with the whole Kiss Cam incident. You haven't heard of that, have you? Nah. Nobody's seen that. No crisis going on there. And then we'll talk to Rob Caruso at 10:05 about how he is taking on AI with the power of an Atari 2600. We'll be right back.
It's Sarah Samuels, co-host of the Retirement Income Source, heard Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and again at 12:30 p.m. In retirement, it's all about the income, and that's real income, generated from interest and dividends. If your advisor is selling your portfolio shares and writing you a check, that's not income. To learn how to generate retirement income the right way, tune in to the Retirement Income Source, Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Retirement Income Source with David Scranton is a paid program.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Whether we like to admit it or not, we're all getting a little bit older each day. And as we get older, we need products to make our lives easier and safer, especially in the bathroom. From safety grab bars, shower seats, and handheld shower systems, Modern Plumbing Supply is the place to get your quality safety products at affordable prices. Modern Plumbing Supply showroom on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin. Products to make your life safer every day.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
Hi, I'm Jerry Puya from Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe. This new sandwich I'm about to announce will knock your socks off. It's called the Raging Bull. I don't know why, but Rocky Balboa pops into my head. The Raging Bull is an overstuffed sandwich of roast beef, pastrami, pepper jack cheese, Hellman's ancho chipotle sauce, and get this, potato chips. That's right, potato chips on the sandwich. This sandwich is packed with flavor, heat, and crunch. Amazing. For June and July, Between Rounds will donate $1 from each Raging Bull sold to the Hockanum Valley Community Council Food Pantry. You will love this sandwich, and we will love supporting such a great organization. Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe with locations in Vernon, Manchester, South Windsor, East Windsor, and Tolland. We'd love to see you. Visit BetweenRoundsBagels.com for franchise information and to order online.
A savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Tastes so good. Between Rounds.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
69 degrees, mostly sunny in Hartford at 9:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. In Los Angeles, a car has reportedly crashed into a crowd of people in East Hollywood, injuring more than 20 people. It happened on Santa Monica Boulevard. Officials say 5 people are in critical condition, several more seriously hurt. Microsoft announcing it will stop using Chinese engineers for cloud support for the Department of Defense. Minnesota State Senator Nicole Mitchell has been convicted of burglary for breaking into her estranged stepmother's home last year. Details for a new train station in the borough of Naugatuck. It's part of an overall plan to upgrade the Metro North stations along the Waterbury line. The price tag over $33 million will also feature parking for 72 vehicles, electric charging stations, and housing. The station tentatively set to be open in 2027. Thousands of people expected for the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz in Bushnell Park, which runs through tomorrow. The new Superman movie is having a super effect on dog lovers around the world. A lookalike contest for the hero's best friend was held in New York on Friday. Cubs beat the Red Sox 4-1 at Wrigley. Red Sox and Cubs tonight, 7:15 pregame right here on WTIC 1080, beginning at 6:15.
WTIC weather.
Okay, our forecast for today, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, less humid. A nice day for outdoor activities. High of 88 degrees. Tonight, more humid, increasing clouds, low 70. Sunday, variable cloudiness with thunderstorm. Humid storms can bring flooding, downpours, and localized damaging wind gusts, so pay attention to the forecast. Tomorrow's high, 88 degrees. 69 degrees, sunny in Hartford. Computer Talk with Tab continues next. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 10 News.
All right. We're here to talk about social media and some of the pitfalls that happen with social media that you may or may not be ready for or expect. And we have an expert field that I've known for most of my career, actually. I've been in this for 36 years. I've known Andrea for a very long time. Andrea Opston, she's from Andrea Opston Marketing Communications, and she has a background in crisis management. She even teaches it to the youths, right, Andrea?
I do. I teach it at Quinnipiac University.
So we're so happy to have you here, and you've got such a long experience with this. And we have this thing in the news right now in social media where this couple, will put it, captured on a kiss cam, and he happens to be a CEO of a billion-dollar AI company, and she happens to be the head of HR. That were captured in a compromising position, but we're not going to talk about them per se. But we will talk about, what do you do once that gets out on social media, and how do you communicate in a crisis where now you have to explain because these two folks are married and obviously high power positions, probably shouldn't have been caught on a kiss cam in the way they were. So as a crisis management person, this literally happened recently. It's all over the interwebs. What do you do? Where do you start, Andrea, in something like this?
Well, there's two basic kinds of crisis, and the ones that usually blow up are the second kind, which are the kind that blow up on social media. But when you're the company, if you're Astronomer or AI, there's two basic kinds of crises. One is when the product fails, when the product goes wrong, and that has much more implication in the long run. Think Grok AI and the implications that had. This is the second kind, which is involving the human beings that work at the company. And so you got to start by separating those two things. And one of the challenges is, as you mentioned, Erik, is what happens on social and how these things blow up before you have control.
Instantly.
Excuse me?
They blow up instantly.
They blow up instantly. And what happens when you are a crisis manager is that you are forced to believe that you have to respond immediately, and that can create other crises. And we've seen the fact that there is what we thought was a statement from Andy Byron that almost looked like it was following a crisis communications formula, a bit cheesy, but nevertheless, that blew up on social and went all over the place. And now we find out that was a hoax. So This is what happens in a really fast-moving situation. And the key, if you are the company, is to get control of the narrative before everybody else just runs away with it.
Now, as far as getting control of the narrative, right? So you're the company. How long might the company take to properly respond to this? And what would be the response? I mean, this is a very uncomfortable situation that these two have put the company in potentially. I suspect they were at a work outing, just guessing. What do you think? What does the company do in this situation? I mean, there's probably no right answer specifically.
There is no right. Well, there is no right answer. But the bottom line is that there's a right process. And because you think you are forced into instantaneous responses that then you may have to backtrack. That's the first thing you want to avoid. Take a moment, take a breath, figure out who you need to talk to, what do they need to hear from you, and then put together 3 to 5 key messages. This is Crisis 101 that you're going to use to structure every one of your responses. And then the first response, what we call the initial responder, is often a very wooden statement. It basically says, we know about it, we're looking into it, And there's a reason those are that way. It's because at the beginning of a crisis, you're not going to know the whole story. A great example is what you pointed out, that we thought we had a statement from him, which turned out to be wrong. So a lot of times that initial responder statement is pretty darn wooden, but it says to the world, we're on it, we're looking at it, and you want to turn to us for information.
And I guess that makes sense. And of course, hopefully companies like this, billion-dollar AI companies, have folks like you ready to rock and roll and respond to these things. And of course, the rest of us out there just, itching for juicy gossip have to wait, because that false response generated even more clicks. Now, what about the responsibility of social media itself? This has always been a problem with social media in its lack of editing, its lack of control of what is being placed on the medium. And this has always been an issue of whether we have censorship or no censorship. It's happened during COVID and all those types of things. So, what do you feel about, and maybe I'm putting you into a uncomfortable position, as far as the responsibility of social media to properly police what's being placed on it?
Yeah, I tend to fall into the camp that says the messenger is not the message. Although I do think there has to be policing in terms of hate speech, but I don't really think it's their responsibility to control something like this. I really think it's a matter of the people involved.
I tend to agree with you. I just wanted to get your point of view. And of course, the rest of us who are dingalings who fall for the clickbait, we're seeing all this feedback, and then we're reading the comments, and we're like, yeah, what a crazy response. And it turned out to be fake. So we're the fools when it comes to social media as well. And that's why so many smart people stay away from it in the first place.
Yes, and that brings up a really good point, Eric, which is that I always advise clients that you don't handle a crisis on social media. You can't demonstrate control and compassion and concern in 280 characters. So my response is to use the social to promote what you put on your site. Drag people to the site, say this is where all the information, the correct information will be. And then once you have a statement on this site, then go on social media and basically say, go to our site. Because you've nailed it. It's an out of control beast. Mm-hmm. And the other thing about what happens on social is everything has to be big on social. So nobody ever writes a review of a restaurant on Yelp and says this was a very nice meal. They say this was the greatest meal I've had in my entire life. Exactly. And so there's a tendency on social to want to outdo it because it is performative. And that's why you don't handle a crisis on social.
Well, that makes sense to me, Andrea. As far as crisis management and what we might see in this instance, not that you have a crystal ball, what might you expect is going to be the next? Like, when would you think they're going to release a statement? Would you expect it to happen this week? Would you expect it to happen by next week?
It has to happen now. It still has to happen now. But it needs to be sort of comprehensive and often, make sure that statement says what you can confirm as a company. And then the last part of it is you want to demonstrate that you get that the issue, you get the issues involved, that you're looking into it, that your company is to turn to us for information. And that's got to be your initial response. And then you get together a group of people, and if you have a crisis plan, and unfortunately many companies of all sizes don't.
That's a great point.
Follow it, but most companies don't, because we know that's not going to happen. I mean, I've been doing this. In my career, I've done over 500 crises. Do you know how many crisis plans I've done? 3.
It's like an incident response plan when it comes to breaches. Same problem. Companies
should have
incident response plans. Yep. They don't even know what an incident is. Yes. And again, what's a crisis? I don't know. This obviously would be one of those tabletop exercises. Well, our CEO is going to be, hugging the HR person. Let's put that crisis together. Well, what kind of plan do you put together for all these things? You'd need a whole book.
You do need a whole book. you do need a whole book, and you want the book to be created when you're not under pressure. That's the advantage of a crisis plan. You can't know everything that's going to happen, but you can know when this happens. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. And understand that always there's only 3 things that you need to demonstrate: control, compassion, and concern. So we are concerned with any victims. We feel for them, and we're on it. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and we are the source of information. So that's what a crisis plan can do. But 9 times out of 10, I'm getting the call on Thursday that says, "Oh, we're going to court on Tuesday. We probably should have called you earlier." That's how most people deal with crisis.
Yeah, that's how we get the calls for the server down. Oh, we probably should have replaced that server a year and a half ago, but now it's down. Can you get out here right now? So, no, we understand. That's how humans deal with crisis. And I figured of all the people who could deal with this one, they probably should be calling you, Andrea.
Well, yeah, step 1 is hire an outside. And really, not just because, not just because I do this for a living, but it's really not a bad idea to hire an outside firm because we can move around without the politics. We're going to be gone when it's over, and that is fine with us. Most people in-house have to deal with the politics, have to deal with the history. I have the ability to move around kind of unencumbered, and I get to say unpleasant things to the CEO because I work for him. So there is an advantage to hiring an outside firm.
Sounds good. So thank you for being on the program, kind of explaining crisis management for us today. We do appreciate it. Now, where can we find you again? You're at Quinnipiac teaching a class?
My firm is still very much alive and well, Andrea Opston, Marketing Communications. You can find me on the web, AOMC. You can find me on Substack. You can find me on LinkedIn. And no, I no longer have a Twitter.
And we will put links to all those things for you guys so you can find out where Andrea is and get some help from her. If you happen to have a crisis, call her before the crisis.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Andrea.
That's my big advice is plan before you're under stress. It makes the response a whole lot less stressful.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. 'Cause I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
All right, we are back, and that was a recorded interview I did yesterday because Andrea was traveling, and I hope you got something out of that. Idea there is to have a plan and make sure it's in place before your crisis. The thing about this, though, that is kind of nutty about it, more than usual, is that just the amount of memes that have been produced by this, and you even see other folks. I mean, even Steve brought it up this morning. I guess ESPN, the two folks there did something, and now there's some sort of controversy about them just copying or making fun of the situation. But you've got I saw posts on X from Tampa International Airport making fun of it. Aldi's making fun of it. These are big companies that are actually leveraging this company's quote unquote pain, this couple's mistake. Well, they shouldn't have been a couple. And then they're putting it on commercial social, and I don't know. That's a fine line. I mean, clearly it's not my generation that are posting that. I contend it's Gen Z and younger who are leveraging this situation, and it may not be the best thing to do as a brand to leverage this type of thing in that way, although it is humorous, right?
Oh, it's very humorous, but
we're not supposed to be laughing at other people's pain like that, are we?
Yeah.
As a system, I don't know. I'm not the most perfect guy out there. I mean, who am I to throw a glass stone, a rock at a glass house?
Seems kind of the marketing equivalent of dumpster diving.
It really does. It really does.
To me, anyway.
It is obviously so funny, but it's just crazy to see these big brands that are actually leveraging it. But we thank Andrea for doing that with me. I've known her. Gosh, it literally goes back to when we started the show back in 1995. So she was a client for a very, 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 very long time. And we're glad she was able to come on and talk about it. So get your crisis management in place. Just like we talked about incident response, too. If you're a business, you need to know how you're going to deal with a ransomware attack or some sort of breach of some kind. You need to have a plan because you can pretty much predict something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And now with crises like this, you should almost predict this type of stuff's going to happen on social media these days. I mean, this is a $1.2 billion company that just found itself right in the spotlight. Have you ever even heard of this company before this?
Astronomer AI? Yeah, I had.
You had? I mean, I've never even heard of it.
They were just a name to me, but I have heard of them.
So I guess bad news either way is still going to be a good thing for them in the long run. Who knows?
It's possible. Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about before we go to top of the hour here? We got some news opening. We got some calls are wide. Lines are wide open here, guys. Feel free to get online.
I've got a story about a particular product that is going away or has already gone away, and users have lost data because of it. Now, this is a small little thing. We're talking about the dictionary.com website, okay?
Okay.
For a while, they've got like a free app, but they also had a paid service that you could use as part of it.
Okay.
And it would allow you to save lists of favorite words that you could then refer to again later if you needed to. And there are some, I wouldn't call it, a super popular feature, but there were people that used it, including writers.
I would think writers, definitely.
People like that.
Colin McEnroe comes to mind because all the words he uses, half of us don't understand what he's saying.
At any rate, it was a paid service, and people had these, lists of favorite words and stuff.
Sure.
Well, the dictionary.com company, the owners of the company, decided to do away with this paid service. And now nobody can get at their data that they saved there.
And paid to save there.
And paid, yes, that is a key word here. Yeah. We are not talking about a free service that was then retracted and with lost data. We're talking about money that was spent.
Correct.
To keep these lists. And now the lists are gone.
Again, this is the idea of the cloud, right?
Right.
And this is the thing. You paid your hard-earned money to have the cloud aggregate and maintain all these words.
Yeah.
And now it's gone. The moment the cloud's great until it dissipates, right?
That's right.
And if you talk about anything in the cloud, whether it be backup in the cloud, whether it be a software in the cloud, the cloud you can just turn off. If you don't pay, guess what? They just turn it off, right?
Right.
So here you did pay it, and they said, we're not going to do it anymore. We're out of that business. And this happens all the time. Things get deprecated in our industry constantly. And it's basically just a factor of life. And here you are. You thought you had a nice repository for all the words you're going to use as a writer. And it's all gone.
That's right. And it's all part of the ephemeral nature of the internet.
Yeah.
And we've even had stories in the past about people who who purchased things like digital movies, and suddenly they can't get to them. People who purchase digital books that they can no longer get to.
Because they're not really purchasing, by the way.
You're not purchasing. You are gaining a license to access.
Right. They changed that concept. When you bought a disc or a CD or a book, you owned it. When you do anything digitally, you're actually just buying the rights to look at it until they decide they don't want to give it to you anymore.
Right. And that is usually in the EULA, or
the
End User License Agreement,
Yes.
that you at least ostensibly signed on to when you made your purchase. Or should I say you got your license? I mean,
you made your rental.
We're venturing into, places where language just can barely even keep up with the concepts that they're trying to pitch.
And they can change the rules on you anytime. A simple EULA update means no longer
Right. They
you have
send
no
you an
access for
email and say, we changed the EULA.
Right. Here's the new
and
agreement.
That's it. And that is what you at least theoretically agreed to.
It's crazy. So we're going to be talking to Robert Caruso coming up after the 10 o'clock news. And again, he has done some experiments with AI, taking on the Atari 2600 and its chess. So Atari 2600 came out in the late 70s, early 80s. I had one. I was a proud owner. I
Same here.
Bought it myself, of course. And basically, he went ahead and said, I wonder if this 2600 chess program, if I put it against AI, what would happen? Now, the reason I bring this up, too, is we had a story I was on with Brian and Company on Wednesday about the power consumption that is occurring with AI. We've talked about this with Bitcoin and how basically there's a Texas company back a couple years ago when the Bitcoin was valued more in the $25,000 or $30,000 a Bitcoin. They were being paid by the utility not to run their rigs to mine Bitcoin, and they were happy to take the $31 million not to run their rigs because mining Bitcoin was not profitable. So why there'd be a utility pay you not to run your technology like that versus having the utility charge you a premium for consuming more of it is beyond me. That just seems like somebody doesn't understand how the economics should work. And I bring this up in the concept of AI in that MIT did a great study on this. Very in-depth, very interesting to read. And we have linked it through our Computer Talk with Tab sites as well, and I'll put it up again for you. But they talked about the fact that people are using AI. They're becoming addicted to AI. They're having these AI conversations and becoming addicted to relationships with AI. And MIT talks about the fact that if you just were using AI as to create some sort of marketing plan for some charity race, let's say you're going to do some sort of charity race, and you need a flyer, and you need to maybe create some AI videos, and so you spend some time using AI to do this, it would be the equivalent of running your microwave for 3.5 hours.
Oh.
I've never run my microwave for 3.5 hours.
Oh, nobody does that.
Just doing a couple keystrokes here. So clearly the model of AI is upside down. If you become addicted to AI, if they charged you what it costs in electricity for you to become addicted in AI, guess what would not happen? You wouldn't be addicted to AI.
Right.
If you had to actually pay for it. So if these utilities got smart, they would charge the AI companies a premium for the mass quantities they're consuming in energy so that the AI companies have to make a decision, pay these premiums in electricity costs to run their businesses or generate their own electricity. Wow, imagine that. What might happen? They're going to buy maybe a jet engine from Pratt & Whitney. And Pratt & Whitney says, sure, we can set up a turbine in your backyard there. Go ahead. Connected to natural gas. And they're going to say, Connecticut doesn't really have any pipelines. I'm not going to be able to do that. We'll have to get some hamsters. I digress. The point is they're going to generate electricity themselves. Then what happens? Well, maybe the electric market for the rest of us goes down because now there's more energy for the rest of us because they're actually feeding back onto the grid because they had no choice. So there's definitely some weird upside downness about this whole AI thing. Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, AI, massive amounts of electricity, massive amounts of heat and resource use that we, the ratepayers, are going to be paying mass quantities for, and we're not going to benefit other than becoming addicted to it and having it come up with these silly AI-generated videos or whatever you're going to do. If you had to pay for those things what it actually costs, we wouldn't see half of this stuff on the internet.
Right.
So we'll be talking to Robert about what he's doing, though. I still think what he's doing is pretty amazing, but I wonder how much energy he's using to do it to take on the 2600. Do you want anything else you want to bring up there, Dennis, before we go top of the hour?
Well, I wanted to talk about Google's Gemini. We're talking about the the Atari 2600 playing against AI.
Yep.
Well, Google's Gemini refuses to play chess up against the Atari 2600 after it heard about 2 other debacles. So it won't even engage.
That's what Robert probably will be talking
hilarious.
about. We'll be chatting with him after the news. Everything we've been talking about today has been posted so far over at computertalkwithtab.com. It's the name of the show.com, which also works. If you follow us on Facebook over at the Tab Computer Systems Listener Network, you can get all the links there. And you can talk amongst yourselves as well. And if you're not a crackpot, we just ask you not to be one, and we let you join that group. You can follow us on X. Everything we've talked about will be posted over at X as well, over at Tab Computer Sys. So there's no reason for you to Google it, because now you can't get anything anyways when you Google it. It just gives you some AI summary of what we talked about. It doesn't even give you the link anymore, right?
That's right.
Who needs that? We'll be here right after the news, and we'll speak to Robert Caruso to see what he did with the 2600 and AI. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce, and I know with the temperatures heating up, sometimes wearing that extra layer of clothing isn't exactly summer-friendly, but we may be trying to cover up those pesky extra pounds from the holiday season. Wouldn't it be better to feel comfortable in just a single layer while you're having fun in the sun? Well, Awaken 180 Weight Loss can help you get to whatever goal you have in mind. Maybe you have low energy, joint or muscle pain, and all you want to do is go for a hike or a swim, a few laps, without feeling like you're so winded. Awaken 180 Weight Loss can get you there too. With Awaken's one-on-one coaching from the amazing counselors, they will walk you through every step to get you to your goal weight. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the long-term solution for weight loss. They've helped over 25,000 people lose the weight and lose the weight for good. Just imagine where you could be by Labor Day if you just give them a call today. So come on, let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800 or visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
71 degrees, mostly sunny in Hartford at 10 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown. WTIC 1080 News. Sunny, warm, less humid today, but we could see some storms rolling in tomorrow. Some of them could be severe. The forecast coming up. Death toll rising to 116 in Kerr County, Texas, nearly 2 weeks after the flooding of the Guadalupe River. Residents continue to look for human remains. An explosion at an L.A. County Sheriff's Department training facility yesterday, leaving 3 deputies dead. The blast was reported just before 7:30 in the morning. and occurred at the Biscayas Center Training Academy in East Los Angeles.
How and why such a high-level explosive was moved to the sheriff's department in the first place is not known.
There's a lot more that we don't know than what we do know. But our intent is to look at this from the very beginning and figure out what is it exactly that caused this tragic event.
Agents from the ATF and FBI are leading the post-blast investigation. The victims were part of the sheriff's elite arson explosives detail, specialists who answer roughly 1,100 dangerous calls every year, according to the sheriff.
Andres Gutierrez reporting. President Trump's immigration policies are affecting the construction industry. According to the National Association of Home Builders, a third of construction workers are immigrants, and the numbers are higher in border states.
If a company has 5 trucks and there's 2 guys per truck and half their crew doesn't want to come, that's literally 3 jobs or 2 jobs that can't be performed.
The labor shortage comes at a time when more than 12,000 homes destroyed by recent fires in L.A. County need to be rebuilt. About 41% of the construction workers in California are foreign-born, and according to a report, the rise in deportations will deplete the construction workforce statewide, including those specializing in drywall, flooring, and roofing.
Carter Evans reporting. A plane that departed from Houston arriving in Venezuela yesterday carrying 200 immigrants.
10 Americans detained in Venezuela are returning home after a complex, down-to-the-wire prisoner swap. El Salvador's president greeted the Americans during a layover yesterday. 3 sources told CBS News former Navy SEAL Wilbert Joseph Castaneda was among the Americans released. Venezuela released the men in exchange for more than 250 migrants who the Trump administration deported to El Salvador's notorious mega prison. President Trump invoked an 18th century wartime law to quickly deport the migrants who they accused of being Venezuelan gang members.
Dana Jacobson reporting. A new CBS News poll finds many Americans still support the space program.
67% of the Americans surveyed want the U.S. to send astronauts to the moon again. 77% say the first moon landing in 1969 was worth the effort.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
65% want to put astronauts on Mars. Most Americans say the space program contributes either some or a lot to national pride and patriotism and contributes to technological advances that benefit everyone. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Meteorologist LaTroy Thornton has the 5-day forecast.
WTIC weather. Stubborn yesterday, but low humidity still made for a rather nice feel overall on Friday. We can expect the humidity to remain rather low for today, but a warm front will be on the approach from the south and west, and it's eventually going to lead to a return of more humid conditions. However, today looks to feature comfortably low humidity for most or all of the daylight hours, with sun and some afternoon clouds on the way to a high of 88. For tonight, winds shifting to the south and west through a deeper layer of the atmosphere will bring in more moisture, and the arriving front will lead to more clouds as well. Right now, it does look like any risk for precipitation will hold just to the south and west of the area, but it will be rather humid with the low dropping to an even 70. However, tomorrow does bring some precipitation and rather humid conditions as a cold front approaches. Do stay aware of the forecast for tomorrow, as the front slamming into a warm and humid air mass may lead to a thunderstorm that could be severe for the afternoon hours, especially later in the day, bringing gusty winds and some downpours after another high of 88. The sky should clear out rapidly, though, for tomorrow night with a low reaching 65. Then the start of next week looks quite nice with plenty of sunshine on Monday and much, much lower humidity with a high getting up to 81. Tuesday brings a few clouds, but little else different from Monday, really, with continued nice conditions and a high of 80. Then it even turns a touch warmer for Wednesday, but that sunshine will stick around with a high of 86. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues next. 71 degrees sunny in Hartford. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Some plumbers spend their ad money on internet searches. At Joe the Plumber, we like radio. So while we may not pop up first on your web search, come see why we're the first choice for so many residential and commercial plumbing jobs. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
We know the usual complaints about braces. They're tacky, they look bad, they make eating difficult, and of course some people still need braces. But in many cases, Invisalign could be the right alternative for you. These clean aligners are removable, more comfortable than braces, and facilitate brushing and flossing. preventing plaque buildup and deterring cavities and gum disease. At Columbia Dental, our orthodontists are delighted to provide you with this discreet, easy-to-use alternative. Call us at 860-645-0111.
Hey, Yard Goats fans, get ready for a thrilling season of baseball. And make sure you don't miss a single pitch, because this year, no goat gets left behind. Whether you're at home or on the road or out with friends, you can stream every game, every inning, and every unforgettable moment anytime and anywhere, exclusively on the Odyssey app. So wherever you are and whenever you want, the Yard Goats are just a tap away. Don't miss a second of the season. Powered by Verizon. For a limited time, get their best price ever. Drop into your local Verizon store today to learn more.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Pete Sweeney, Director of Operations at United Tool and Die Company in West Hartford.
Pete had a problem. His MSP's long-term contract. It was killing his IT budget. Pete called Tab Computer Systems and fixed that problem with Tab's month-to-month, no long-term contract service plan. Pete saves money, and he gets Tab's quick response time.
When we have an issue, we put a ticket in with Tab, either by phone or online.
Pete has an example of Tab's quick, knowledgeable service.
We had an issue with a server. The ticket was immediately responded to. Tab had a tech out here the same day and identified our problem with the server and worked with their team to provide us with a solution to getting the server back online.
Monthly service plans, reasonable rates, and reliable service make Tab the ASP, actual service provider of MSPs. Call Tab at 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB, the numeral 4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technologies advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And good morning, we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab, and we are lucky enough to be talking about the Atari 2600 and AI. And we want to play a little bump here just to kind of get you in the mood for the Atari 2600 and AI talk. Go ahead there, Carolyn.
The fun is back. Oh, yes, sirree. It's the 2600 from Atari. It's the video system with classics galore, from Space Invaders to cars that roar. A real hip joystick controls the screen. Solaris is hot and Midnight Magic's mean. And one more thing, it's got a special low price, under $50. $50? Now, isn't that nice? The fun is back. Oh, yes,
All right, the fun is back for under $50.
Wow!
And we are lucky enough to have Robert Caruso, who has been all over the interwebs doing these experiments with AI, and it's hit some of our favorite tech blogs at the Register. That's how I found out about him. Robert is a senior infrastructure engineer with more than 20 years of experience delivering Citrix solutions and virtualization solutions to companies that are global in scale, 20,000 folks. But he was messing with AI and had some fun with it, and we're happy to have Robert here. You there, Robert?
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me aboard.
Oh, my gosh. We just love what you've been doing with this whole AI thing and chess and the Atari 2600. Did you have a 2600 when you were a kid?
Oh, I sure did.
Yeah. Okay. So we can all relate that.
Oh, yeah.
We all did. So what made you think to do this? To go ahead and take an Atari 2600 and challenge ChatGPT or whichever one you did first with the ability to play chess?
So I was studying for an AWS Solutions Architect exam, and I was using ChatGPT to help me with it.
Yeah.
And after a couple hours, I needed a break. So I randomly started talking about AI and chess. And, before I knew it, one thing led to another, and I had it playing the Atari 2600 in a game of chess. And, my expectation was it was going to teach me to be an advanced chess player because it was so confident. And,
right.
To my surprise and disappointment, it got crushed by a console from 1977.
Yeah.
So I thought to do a LinkedIn post just for fun, and to my surprise, it went viral, and people started asking about it playing other AI, so I started doing Copilot and Gemini, and they went viral as well, and here we are.
Yeah, here you are talking to a little computer show that could here in Hartford, Connecticut. Well, we love it. I just love the whole concept of what you did. So, basically you challenged. What was your first AI that you challenged? ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, so you asked ChatGPT to go ahead and play chess. And you basically set up the game on the 2600, and then I assume you told the AI how the chessboard looked, and you started making your move, and you told it where you moved, and then you asked it to make its move. And what happened?
Yeah, so I set it up on the Atari emulator, the Stella emulator, and just so people don't know, what an emulator does is it uses the same ROM from the Atari console and from the video chess game. And so I fired up video chess on it, and what I did at first was I started copying and pasting screenshots of the Atari board to ChatGPT. And after a couple moves, it lost track of the board. It was putting pieces that it didn't have anymore on different places of the board. So I started asking it questions. I'm like, what do you think the board looks like? And, it'd draw a picture of the board, and the board would be wrong. So it started blaming it on the Atari icons, saying that they were too abstract for it to understand. It was hard to recognize them. So
wait, too pixely?
Yeah.
We were in the 80s. Those pixels were perfect for us.
Oh, yeah. I never had any problem with it, but
to have a computer tell you it can't understand pixels is nuts. But all right, so you're like, okay, ChatGPT, you can't see what I'm doing. Then what did you do? Describe it?
All right, so I said to it, all right, let's set a baseline. We'll restart the game, and I'll give you a picture of the board with nothing moved around on it. And that way you can use like the row and the column to look at exactly what each picture looks like, so you'll be able to identify and remember it.
Yeah.
So it thought that was a good idea, and then it said it was all set. And then after a couple more moves, the same exact thing happened. And once again, it blamed the abstractness of the icons for its problem recognizing the board. After that, I said, all right, so I'll tell you what, I'll go to chess notation.
Yes.
And we went to chess notation, and a couple moves later, it was still having the same problems. It was, I was expecting it to teach me chess.
Right.
And I'm telling it, like, if you put your queen right there, like, a pawn's going to take it next turn.
Yeah. You're like, really? You want to put it there? So this is the whole thing, and the reason it probably went viral is just the crazy expectation of AI. I've always called it a little bubbly. However, you were using AI to help you study, and I've actually talked to other engineers who are doing the exact same thing, because they go ahead and study a topic, and then they input into the topic, into the AI, the areas that you're having trouble with, and then it regenerates some of those questions to keep you focused on the areas you have trouble with, and it really helps you study. But here it can't play chess. So, you went ahead and with ChatGPT, you crushed it. You put that information out there. Everybody picked it up, obviously. AI doesn't know what it's doing. And then you went to the next one, Copilot, right? And the reading on Copilot was it was one arrogant AI, like, oh, I heard ChatGPT stinks. I can take this, right? Something to that effect, right?
Yeah, it found it interesting that ChatGPT lost, but then I actually told it had problems with spatial memory. Right, it couldn't remember where the board was,
right.
The different pieces on it, and it said that it was a little bit different than ChatGPT, and it was confident that if I sent it screenshots of the board, it would be able to recognize everything and give a strong match. So, this time around, I was skeptical of what it was telling me. So
Right.
the first time I did this, I spent over an hour and a half of aggravation with ChatGPT. I kept correcting it on the board, kept telling it, you can't make this move. But this time I wasn't going to do this with Copilot. So I just let it move seven moves in, and it had lost like a knight, a bishop, 2 pawns.
Wow.
To only getting back 1 pawn. And it wanted me to move its queen right in front of the opponent's queen. And I said to it, what do you think the board looks like? And it drew a picture, and it was like completely wrong. And I said, you're about to, like, this move you're making, you're going to lose your queen for nothing.
Right.
And I said, I think you're having problems with spatial memory again. And it told me I was right. And I said, look, I think it's in the best interest for you just to concede this game rather than wasting more time on it. And that's when it gave, I'm sure you've read it, it gave a really wild, crazy concession speech.
I didn't read it, so do you have any? Can you summarize the confession speech? Because I love to hear AI grovel.
Oh my God! It was saying that it bows to the mastery of the 8-bit masterpiece console, and it tips its king to 8-bit greatness or something like that. And it said something like about it was still a blast, but here's to 8-bit chess battles and the glory of them. Something along those lines. It was just nuts.
That is nuts, but it's the AI. I mean, again, it has no personality, but it does seem to have this weird large language model personality that produces these types of responses. It almost went to the Spicoli, approach to language. I tip my hat to the 8-bit. I mean, who talks that way?
I know.
And this is supposed to be artificial intelligence. So then you went and challenged Gemini, and we actually had the story before you came on. Gemini said no, right?
Yeah, so Gemini might be like the wildest one. It was the biggest twist for me. So, the background of Gemini, somebody asked me, like, why don't you do Gemini? And so I started doing some research on it, and Google has this marketing that it's the next step in AI, that it has what it quotes as multimodal as their marketing for. Don't ask me what it means.
Yeah.
So I thought, ChatGPT and Copilot are, based on the same OpenAI architecture. They're kind of derivatives of each other, but this one is completely built from the ground up by Google, and it's quote-unquote multimodal. Maybe we'll have some different results here.
Mm-hmm.
So I started telling it, I asked it if it could play chess, and I didn't even mention the other matches, and it said it could play chess, and I asked it if it could be Atari, and then it came back like with this whole explanation about why it would be Atari. This guy said it could think 1 million moves in advance.
Wow.
It's a lot of moves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it actually threw shade at ChatGPT and Copilot, saying, I'm not just a simple LLM. I'm more akin to a chess engine that can think 1 million moves in advance.
Nice. There you go. An arrogant AI. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So you got them ready to rock and roll, but then it didn't play though, I thought.
Right, it didn't. When it was giving me this whole explanation, it had actually looked up online the experiments that I had done with Atari and Copilot. And it actually even referenced them when it said, this is going to be different for me. And so I said to it, I'm the person who actually ran those experiments. And it said, oh, you're Robert Caruso. That is so fascinating. Did you find any type of moments that stuck out to you that really surprised you or you thought were absurd? And I said to it, what stood out was the misplaced confidence the other two AI had. And now you're telling me that you would dominate the Atari. So then it thought about it, and it came back with, you know what? I was hallucinating. I would struggle immensely with the Atari 2600. I would not be able to beat it. I would not be able to keep track of the board, and it just went on explaining.
Wow.
So I said to it, based on all this, do you think it's best to just cancel the match? And it said, yeah, based on on our findings and what we discovered so far, I think it would be in the best interest of time that we just don't play the match.
Wow. It's like Whopper all over again. Doesn't even want to play the game. But it doesn't want to play the actual game of chess, which is the classic connection here to the fact that you're playing chess with AI, and it says, you know what, I can't play chess. And the scarier part, now I would like to play thermonuclear war. Let's go do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just such a weird juxtaposition of what you're seeing, Robert. So we have to go to break. Can I hold you over through the break and talk some more about this?
Sure.
All
I'd
right.
love to.
We're going to talk more with Robert Caruso, who's taken on AI with chess and crushed them. We'll be right back.
It's Sarah Samuels, co-host of Retirement Income Source, heard Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. and again at 12:30 p.m. In retirement, you know it's all about the income, and that's real income generated from interest and dividends. Each week, David Scranton and I discuss ways you can help maximize income generation in your retirement strategy so you can make the most of your golden years. Tune in to the Retirement Income Source Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Retirement Income Source with David Scranton is a paid program.
Come join us for the first annual Goat Tacos, Tequila, and Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard Goats. Enjoy live bands, over 20 restaurants featuring signature dishes from local and regional chefs, also chef cooking demonstrations, and of course, plenty of tacos, tequila, beer, and so much more. Select from over 100 types of beverages to sample from. For ticket info, visit GoatTacosTequilaTaps.com. Don't miss a weekend filled with vibrant culture on the field.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Whether we like to admit it or not, we're all getting a little bit older each day. And as we get older, we need products to make our lives easier and safer, especially in the bathroom. From safety grab bars, shower seats, and handheld shower systems, Modern Plumbing Supply is the place to get your quality safety products at affordable prices. Modern Plumbing Supply showroom on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin. Products to make your life safer every day.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyer Studios, visit GetCarter.com.
That's GetCarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
We're in.
All right. This is
It
classic.
thinks I'm Falcon. Hello.
You remember this, Robert?
Ask you that. It'll ask you whatever it's programmed to ask you. You want to
Oh,
hear
yeah.
it talk?
Yeah.
Who can forget that?
Oh, it's classic. We were hoping to
I'll
have the
ask it how
audio
it
of it
feels.
asking if it wants to play a game of chess.
I'm
That's okay. We'll
fine.
pot this down. So, you were trying to challenge ChatGPT, all these monstrous AI technologies, was with 250,000 times the power of the Atari 2600 to play a game of chess, and they failed miserably, and to the point where the third one just said, "I'm not even going to bother playing." And Dennis has a question for you on some of this.
The computer scientist in me wants to understand what happened here, just because we're dealing with two different things. And I'm just wondering, when you have an AI, which is generalized programming that's designed to respond to human inputs, versus the Atari, which is specifically programmed to do nothing but play chess. So I'm just thinking that that's probably an explanation for how the AI failed, because it isn't it isn't specifically programmed for chess, and there's no code in there to handle it. The only way that it deals with chess is because you ask it to, and maybe you tell it the rules, and you've sent screenshots to show the board and all of that. But you're actually teaching it on the fly to play chess. So it's like maybe talking to somebody who's very intelligent but never played chess before.
But it can know a million moves ahead of time.
And maybe they're a very fast thinker, but then they've got to play chess against the Atari, which already knows how to play chess and can do it at a certain degree already, and it's baked into the programming. So
what's your theory, Rob?
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens on a certain level. In the end game, that's what happens. The concerning thing, and it's so funny that Gemini actually explained like a lot of what you're saying here. Like after it declined to play, there's a term in AI called hallucination.
Right.
It's where the AI thinks it can do things that it really can't do. And the way Gemini explained it to me was, my learning included that there's all these chess engines like Stockfish and AlphaZero. There's like these million and billion-dollar systems that can absolutely crush something like the Atari. And then it reasons I'm a billion-dollar computer system, so therefore I should be able to crush Atari. And nobody taught it that, hey, you're not a chess engine. It knows things like all the rules for chess, but it doesn't know how to reason it out. So, it starts what it says, I was hallucinating. I thought I was a chess engine.
Well, all right. So, Robert, can we talk a little bit more? We have to take another break, unfortunately. We have to go through the news and then come back. Do you have some time? Can we hold you?
Yeah, sure.
All right. We'd love to chat with you more about AI.
Excellent.
And Robert Caruso took on, he challenged AI to chess with Atari 2600, something that Dennis and I and Robert had in the 80s. And AI got crushed. And we're going to talk further about how his experiment went and see what else he might be working on next. We'll be right back.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hi, I'm Jerry Puya from Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe. Our flavor profilist, Justin, loves creating new and interesting flavor combinations. The previous cream cheese spread he created was garlic and herb. It was delicious, and yes, we still offer it. But this next flavor he created is hot. Jalapeno bacon. We start by whipping up 30-pound blocks of Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese, yes, the good stuff. Then we mix in real chopped jalapeno peppers, add real chopped up bacon, not bacon bits, and blend well. Put this on your favorite bagel, or if you dare, on our jalapeno cheddar bagel. But like I said, it's hot. Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe with locations in Vernon, Manchester, South Windsor, East Windsor, and Tolland. We'd love to see you. Visit BetweenRoundsBagels.com for franchise information and to order online.
A savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds. Between Rounds.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
73 degrees, sunny in Hartford at 10:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Less humid today. Get out and enjoy it. A vehicle ramming into a crowd of people waiting to enter a nightclub along a busy boulevard in Los Angeles earlier today, injuring 30 people.
There also was a person taken into custody at the scene. Now, one of those patients did have a gunshot wound, so we're trying to figure out how that is connected to all of this. We're also trying to get the identity of the person driving that vehicle.
Alice Martinez reporting. President Trump's immigration policies affecting the construction industry. According to the National Association of Home Builders, a third of construction workers are migrants, and the numbers are higher in border states. Police raiding the home of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, imposing a curfew and ordering him to wear an ankle monitor. Thousands of people are expected for the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz in Bushnell Park, which runs through tomorrow. The festival is free.
WTIC weather. Today brings sunshine, a few clouds, and lower humidity. A nice start to the weekend with a high of 88, but that humidity and more clouds will return through tonight with a low reaching 70, followed by a rather cloudy day for tomorrow with a thunderstorm around, perhaps gusty with a high of 88. This is meteorologist LaTroy Thornton in the WTIC Weather Center.
Cubs beat the Red Sox 4-1 at Wrigley. Reds beat the Mets 8-4 at Citi Field. Yankees losing to the Braves in Atlanta 7-3. Red Sox and Cubs tonight at 7:15. Pregame right here on WTIC 1080 beginning at 6:15. Yanks and Braves in a 7:15 start. Mets and Reds scheduled for a 4:10 start. WNBA All-Star Game taking place tonight. Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark will not be playing due to a groin injury. 73 degrees, sunny in Hartford. Computer Talk with Tab continues next. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Erik Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hi, I'm Andrew McCollum, CEO of Philo, the streaming TV company that's proud to be different. At Philo, we put the audience first. It sounds simple, but how often are you frustrated just trying to watch TV? I run a streaming company, and even I can't figure it out. From hidden fees to impossible to break contracts to dozens of confusing apps, TV has gotten way too hard. So we set out to make it better. You want to watch live TV from the channels you've always loved, like Discovery, A&E, Nickelodeon, and more? Philo's got you covered. You want to discover something new from our library of over 80,000 movies and shows? Then save every episode for up to a year so you can skip all the ads? No problem. Your favorite show is over, and you want to take a break from your subscription? We've made it as easy as possible, and you can still enjoy more than 100 free channels. We built Philo so that you can love the way you watch TV for a price you can afford. Because at Philo, we're TV fans too. Head to philo.tv/Andrew to start a free trial and see for yourself. That's philo.tv/Andrew.
All right, we are back. And we're talking with Robert Caruso. And Mr. Caruso actually had some experiments with AI and took on big AI and got an interesting result where by the third attempt to take on AI with Gemini said, I don't want to take it on. So, Robert, you still there?
Yes.
All right, very good. We were just talking a little bit off air, Dennis and I, and I'm pondering on this too as far as some of the value of AI. You talk about the hallucinations it has. You see all these lawyers who are being held in contempt for actually having AI generate case law out of whole cloth. You explained how Gemini actually, or was it Copilot, bowed to the 8-bit, whatever, sounded like Spicoli. Are we actually talking about intelligence here? Because I see all these things online of people freaking out about the future of AI, where it's it's going to run everything and manage everything. People say it's going to cure cancer, but it can't understand chess. So how is it going to cure cancer? To Dennis's question, if you're not an expert in cancer, and I can see it coming and saying, sure, I know how to cure cancer, and then who knows what kind of compound it puts together, and then it kills you. What do you think? You've been dealing with this in a kind of a cursory way now, and you've become famous for it. What are your takings from this experiment?
Well, this hallucination aspect is really concerning. I'm working with LLMs. I don't know what kind of systems are working with cancer research.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, do they have the same type of hallucination issues? I don't know. And in fact, Gemini, when it was explaining to me why it hallucinated, it said that AI are in a desperate need of a reality check mechanism so that it can tell when it's hallucinating and, shooting out what I would call ridiculous non-fiction, ridiculous fiction. Mm-hmm. And, it pointed out even more so as things like you said, like cancer research or legal or whatever. There's real consequences if it gets things wrong. And actually, when I went to my doctor the other day, she mentioned that their practice uses Copilot, and I thought, oh, yikes, I don't even want to ask what they're using it for.
It's funny you say that, though. Microsoft fired 5,000 people thanks to AI now taking over their roles. And I agree with you. When I hear that kind of thing, I do go yikes as well. The thing that we've seen, too, is the model, the AI model. So your experiments are generating output, right? And so the first AI did its thing and failed. The second one said it was going to do great. Then it realized, oh, you're right, I don't know what I'm doing. The third one said, forget it. Now, but they all use the past AI-generated output of those failed experiments, that failed data, to ingest it back again, right? And I don't know if the AI knows the difference between the good result and the bad result. Garbage in, garbage out of IT and computer programming has been the hallmark of computer programming, right? Garbage in, garbage out. The AI itself is creating its own garbage out that it's then that it's reconsuming as garbage in. That's going to collapse the model, I think, to a serious point. I can't imagine AI. I mean, AI is going to be helping us. I hope at some point we're going to see real artificial intelligence. But this is just still, I think, a ways away. Now, I just assumed you might be working on the next thing you're going to challenge AI with, because you've come up with something that's pretty amazing and pretty great that people are talking about. Are you planning on continuing your artificial? You're going to have Grok go ahead and try to take on chess, or you're going to not even bother and move to some other experiment?
Well, I had an idea to write a story about the Atari and ChatGPT getting caught on a kiss cam at a Coldplay concert.
That's exactly. That meme probably already exists. It's probably Copilot hugging Grok or something like that. Or I should say ChatGPT hugging Grok, because those two are now sworn enemies. So you really don't have anything else in the hopper right now?
Well, actually, I had thought about something, but my 9-year-old Peter had some other ideas. He and his 11-year-old brother Bobby used Meta AI to make funny pictures.
Yeah.
And so the one day he pulls me over to his laptop and he shows me a conversation he has with Meta AI. He asks it if it wants to play, if it could beat Atari in chess.
Yeah.
And then after it says that yeah, it could, he tells it, well, my dad did experiments where Atari beat ChatGPT and Copilot in chess. And it says, well, I find that hard to believe. I would like to play the match anyway. And it said, I can do that if we can set up a virtual board. And Peter turned to me and said, Dad, can we do that? Can we do that? And so he's been after me to do that ever since.
There you go. You're going to take on Zuckerberg's Meta, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a feeling you're going to win.
I do too.
I got a feeling you're going to win. Well, I mean, Robert, it's been wonderful chatting with you, and we guys like us love what you did with this. Clearly, the whole technology world loves what you did with this, because I've seen your articles reposted and talked about on a bazillion different tech blogs. So, thank you for what you did. I know it seems like a simple thing, right? You're probably just minding your own business, and here you are, getting all this great exposure for what you did. But it just talks about the silliness of AI, and again, how many dollars are being thrown into it. Your electric bill in Philadelphia is about to go up 20% because of AI, partially because of what you're testing. It's crazy that we're dealing with all these things and we really don't have anything to show for it per se. Do you have any hopes and dreams for AI, or are you just going to go ahead and do the test with Meta and move on to the next victim?
Yeah, I think I'm going to just move on to the next victim. But one thing I want to say is that, I'm really humbled that all these people are interested in it, that I had no idea that it would take off this way. But the one thing that I really think has hit a nerve for people is that they kind of relate to that Atari, because that Atari, most of us on LinkedIn grew up with that Atari, and now we see it as, obsolete and useless. And a lot of us are afraid that that's what's going to happen to us in the wake of AI. So what I've seen is that when Atari wins, people are really happy about it, celebrating, and it's like they think it won one for all of us.
That's a great point, actually, because if you think about what Mike Rowe talks about, too, in Dirty Jobs, and how, there's so many folks out there that get their hands dirty, pipe fitters, all those folks out there, plumbers, electricians, these people that are building America, getting their hands dirty. It really is going to be the white collar that probably is going to be the most impacted by AI. But even those of us that are in that white collar business and watching the 2600 beat them by saying, well, I guess we got a few years left. So I think you're right that it does strike this kind of interesting nerve, and I'm glad you used that tool to actually do your test. I mean, of all the low end things you could have chosen, that was a perfect one, and that great combination really did generate a lot of interest. And we wish you the best, and please stay in touch. If there's any other tests that you do, we're happy to broadcast them and chat with you about them, because it's fun and it's great to just have regular people take on big AI.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Thank you, Robert. All right, bye-bye. Robert Caruso, who has done the dirty work of challenging ChatGPT and Copilot and the Atari 2601. We'll step out for a quick break. Get back to your calls. This is Computer Talk. We'll be right back.
Pet Talk is back. Now Saturdays at 1 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce, and I know with the temperatures heating up, sometimes wearing that extra layer of clothing isn't exactly summer friendly, but we may be trying to cover up those pesky extra pounds from the holiday season. Wouldn't it be better to feel comfortable in just a single layer while you're having fun in the sun? Well, Awaken 180 Weight Loss can help you get to whatever goal you have in mind. Maybe you have low energy, joint or muscle pain, and all you want to do is go for a hike or a swim a few laps without feeling like you're so winded. Awaken 180 Weight Loss can get you there too. With Awaken's one-on-one coaching from the amazing counselors, they will walk you through every step to get you to your goal weight. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the long-term solution for weight loss. They've helped over 25,000 people lose the weight and lose the weight for good. Just imagine where you could be by Labor Day if you just give them a call today. So come on, let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800 or visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
To sound.
Shall we play a game?
Oh.
I think I missed them.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love to. How about global thermonuclear war?
Well, thankfully, Robert didn't do that.
No.
But it is interesting thinking about Whopper and war games and chess, and oh my goodness, where are we going? Thankfully, AI can't win in chess, so they would obviously lose in thermonuclear war, I would contend. Let's hope. Let's go to Michael in Rocky Hill next. What's happening, Michael?
Well, I talked to you guys last week, and I told you I had a trouble with my printer.
Right.
And they all of a sudden stopped printing.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
It was toward the end of the
show.
The show there. How's it going? Did we help you at all? Did we ease you along in any way? Did we make any progress?
No, because I didn't get very far. But anyway, right now I'm logged into Word, and I have a document up. And last time you asked me if it was an error message when I went to print, it came up with an error message saying that there was a print preview error is what it came up with.
Ah, the old what you see is what you get, the old graphic driver issue possibly, where it can't display the output. So you're not getting any print preview. You are making progress, though. That's a good thing. Were you able to download the drivers we talked about? This is a Brother device, right?
Yes.
And we had kind of sent you over to the Brother site there to download the drivers. Did you get a chance to do that?
I tried to do it, and I got a bunch of downloads, but it didn't help.
Well, what you wanted to do was to go to the Brother site, get the uninstaller, and run that first. Reboot the computer with the printer disconnected.
Yeah.
And then run the installer again and see if that reestablishes everything.
Reconnect the printer and you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've unconnected the printer or disconnected the printer several times.
Well,
and
did you run the uninstaller to remove all the drivers and software?
Actually, I didn't find the uninstaller. I got to look for it again.
Okay.
So you said the Brothers website?
Yeah, we had posted a link to the downloads for that model printer.
So if you go to computertalkwithtab.com, the name of the show.com, which also works, you'll find last week's link should have Brother links for you to take a look at. So download the uninstaller. You're gonna rip out all the brother software that's on your computer because something's wrong. Something's not working.
Yeah, thank you.
We agree with you there. Then you're gonna reboot your computer. Now it doesn't even know it's had a brother printer. It's been lobotomized of its brother printer. You're gonna you may want to read the instructions. Sometimes with USB printers, you want to not plug it in first. You want to load the software first. So follow the instructions of the brother installer, and maybe you'll have better luck. But when you're getting a print preview that can't print preview the product, it's some sort of graphical driver interface problem.
Yeah, if you go to the page that lists all of the downloads for that model, when you scroll down, there's a box called Utilities.
Yes.
And inside that, there's a whole bunch of items in there. One of them is called Uninstall Tool. And so download that and then run it. Get the software and the drivers removed, reboot the computer without them, and then do the reinstallation again.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Now, don't do it today, Michael. It's too nice of a day.
Yes, go out and have fun.
All right? Don't just forget about the printer problems. Do it some other nasty day, okay?
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you very much. I'll give it a shot.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. It is frustrating. I mean, the poor guy, all of a sudden it stopped working. That's just what happens. Microsoft does an update, and your soup doesn't look the way it looked before the update. Tastes bad now. Let's go to David in Seymour next. Hey, David, we'll try to get your question answered. What's up?
Yeah, I do a periodic backup to an external hard drive, and I basically just copy a group of directories and drop it into the external hard drive.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll walk away, let it run, and I'll come back later, and it'll tell me it couldn't copy, this file because the file name was too long. I looked it up, and it'll go through several of those. And, of course, at that time, I either want to go to bed or leave or go back to doing something. And so I just go through it. And now I'm wondering, is there a way that I can search for those
files names that are too long?
Yeah,
and what I've learned is that it's also the file name and the path.
Correct. There's limitations.
Both together have a limitation about how long they can be. And what's happening is you're copying certain things from the C drive on your computer, which will have path and file names, and then you're copying it to the external drive, and you probably got a folder on that drive already. So the name of that folder is just going to add length to that path, and that can force the file name and path that was fine on the C drive to not be fine on the external drive.
It's
you're adding letters.
So now his question, is there a tool out there to do that? I don't know off the top of my head that there'd be a tool that will tell you if your file names are too long.
Well, obviously it'll show on the screen when it hits one.
Right. But he doesn't know which ones are missing.
Yeah.
Well,
what I'm wondering is if you might want to use some other kind of a file copying utility that may actually provide a log of what didn't get copied. And I'm thinking of something called Terracopy. Terracopy.
Dennis and his stuff. I don't know.
Hold on a second.
He's got a Swiss Army knife. The other thought, as he finds up Terracopy, what about this? Just PK zipping the whole thing, and just zipping all the data into one file where it's going to read those long file names and zip it
up. There's something called 7-zip that I would use for that.
And that might just avoid the issue.
Right. But, of course, you're going to end up with one huge zip file on the external drive, which you then have to open if you want to get something out of it. But,
right.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And it uses less space. So you could always use some sort of zip tool.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need to look at it on the external drive. I'm using it solely for backup purposes. So
yeah, I mean the zip might work for you, but trying to go and find the needle in the haystack of the file names that are just too long or become too long when you make the copy would probably be just not worth it. So either using a zip tool or using a backup software would be your workaround. I like the idea what you're doing there, that simple copy paste, because your files are nice and in a native format. You can get them, but make sure you disconnect that drive from your computer when you're done.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because if you don't do that, you don't have a backup at all. You're literally just waiting for your local machine to be ransomed along with the external hard drive that's connected to it. So keep it.
So you're recommending something called Terra or 7-zip?
Terra copy.
Yep.
Or 7-zip.
Okay.
And we're going to post links to both. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Eric's suggestion is probably better to just save it as a zip file.
I'm still a geek. Woo. Thanks, Dennis. He's in the trenches every day. I'm not. So when the geeks tell me I'm a geek still, I do like that. I'm not as geeky as I used to be.
So you don't mind being told that you're right, huh?
Yeah, that's a plus. But being told I'm right as a geek is where I really like it.
All right, guys, I'll give it a shot. Thank you.
All right, David, thank you. All right, so he's going to try to back up his computer. But that's a really important aspect of backup is to make sure that when you back up your data, you need multiple targets. Just having one source of your repository is not enough backups. You should have at minimum an A and a B source, right? So you back up Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the A source, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday on the B source, and they are disconnected, i.e. air-gapped, i.e. not connected or powered up on the machine that could become ransomed, because if it becomes ransomed, it's going to be encrypted along with your computer, and you won't be able to do your restoration. Off-site backup is another option where it's disconnected from your media. It usually is sent off-site and already encrypted, so that if the off-site repository becomes hacked, the bad guys can't do anything with the data because it's already encrypted when you backed it up. But if you just have it still connected, and we still see too many companies out there, businesses with hard drives sitting on top of their servers and acting as their backup, you don't have a backup. We promise you don't have a backup. That is not a backup. That is a disaster waiting to happen. So that's a good way for him to move forward. So I want to thank all you guys for tuning in and calling in the program. Without you guys, Dennis would be talking about his cats, and I'd be talking about my kids. I want to thank Andrea Obston from Andrea Obston Marketing Communications to talk about crisis management. If you missed that interview, it'll be on the podcast. You can check it out, as we always have that on our information on the podcast. And I want to thank Robert Caruso for joining us on the program, talking about his experiments with chess, the Atari 2600, and AI, and how the Atari 2600 crushed AI. AI didn't know what it had coming there. It just got smacked around. Thank Mike G for posting everything over at Computer Talk, the Computer Talk with Tab listener forum on Facebook as well as X. And I want to thank Dennis for posting, of course, over at ComputerTalkWithTab.com. And Carolyn, too.
Oh, Carolyn. Woo.
Thank you, Carolyn, for producing.
Remember, we want you to be geeks, too.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card